Well, that was a movie.
Hello and welcome back to Simon's Rants. I'm Simon, and today I'm giving my first thoughts on Paul Thomas Anderson's new film, Licorice Pizza. And I gotta say, great directing does wonders for a film, but it can't do everything. So in case you don't know what this film is about, it's two things essentially. One of which is that Forrest Gump style movie where it's a period piece set in recent history centered around a character or characters being involved in everything that happened in that era. So this is in the 70s, so it's got, pinball machines, it's got water beds, it's got the gas embargo, and it's got this political thing that reminded me of Taxi Driver. It's just all of these things just like, hey, look, we're from an era. Remember these things happened? We're going to put these characters in that era so it's relatable and interesting. And that works in some movies. Like I mentioned Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump did it famously and did it very well. Forrest Gump is a good movie. This movie... So I said it's two things. So what's the other thing? Well, the other half of this movie is it's a will they won't they romance story between a loser girl who's never amounted to anything in her life and a boy genius 15-year-old kid who is also a loser but simultaneously can rule the world by taking advantage of stuff. Like he gets involved in the waterbeds and the pinball machines. He apparently was a child actor who was in different things and has all of this money. He owns like a restaurant and all this stuff. It's like really bizarre how he's such a loser, but then so much wealth and success and everything he touches turns to gold, at least temporarily. It's a weird plot. It's also extremely uncomfortable because, like I said, he's this boy genius. He's 15 years old, and this will they won't they relationship is happening with this 25-year-old girl. Oh, I don't know how this movie is getting away with it. Well, it's Hollywood, so there's your answer. But people aren't really reacting to this strongly enough. I've seen more people on Twitter being angry at the people angry at this movie than I've seen people actually angry at this movie. I don't get it. Just imagine if the roles were reversed. It's disgusting. I'm 26 and I'm uncomfortable dating 18-year-olds, let alone a 15-year-old. What is this garbage? Also, it asks you as the audience to be invested into these characters because this plot is absolutely boring. It's just meandering. It doesn't have any real drive to it other than the will they won't they aspect of their relationship. And I hated both characters. I think they're both written to be completely unlikable, but holy hell, they're unlikable. And so nothing about this movie worked in any aspect for me other than the directing. Paul Thomas Anderson is a fantastic director, so he gets away with a lot here because he's so damn good at directing. But he also wrote this story, and the story is god-awful. So I'm giving it a 5 out of 10 because the directing was perfect. The directing is flawless. He's a fantastic director, one of the best directors alive and working today. But there was no merit. There was no joy. I was constantly checking the clock. I wanted to get out of that theater as soon as I could. I did not enjoy it, even if it wasn't uncomfortable with the whole relationship thing, which is a big even if, because that's hard to get over. I know it's not like they had sex or anything, but they do kiss. They have hand holding. They obviously have romantic interest in each other. She does reveal herself to him at one point. It's not comfortable, and if you are comfortable with it, that's not a good thing. Like, oh god, I did not like it, and I was not comfortable with it. It's a shame that in film and in media and in just every space of life, it's so much easier to get away with having statutory rape, essentially, when it's a woman taking advantage of a man or a boy. He's a boy. He's 15 years old. That's just gross. I couldn't get invested in this movie, and even if you took that out, if this was about two adult characters, I would still have hated it. I still would not have enjoyed either of the characters. I wouldn't have been remotely invested in them because there was nothing likable about them. Nothing interesting happened in the story. It's just a collection of random events, and some of the events are kind of amusing. Bradley Cooper had a small role that was for about 15 minutes that was pretty hilarious, I'll be be honest. But I didn't really care. There was a lot of just like, here's a celebrity, here's another celebrity doing a random weird thing. Like, it had Sean Penn in a small role, it had Tom Waits in a small role, it had John Michael Higgins, whose character was also pretty funny, actually. And it's just, I enjoyed the cameos kind of, because it's like, oh, it's a fun cameo, and hey, maybe they told a funny joke or two, but it's like there were distractions from the plot. They weren't part of the plot, they were distractions, so it's hard to get involved and get invested into what's happening when none of it's leading or going anywhere important or that I care about in any way, shape, or form. There's a gay boyfriend involved in this plot at one point. He's got about 2 minutes of screen time, and in those 2 minutes I became 10,000 more times invested in his character and what he was going through than any of the main characters or anything that was happening in this movie. I really did. I cared so much more, and I was sitting there going, oh, maybe this movie isn't so bad, and I had to like slap myself and be like, hey, this isn't the plot, this is a side character that is gone now. So yeah, 5 out of 10. I can't give it higher than that. I wish I could give it lower, but Paul Thomas Anderson is a fantastic director. But this is one of those movies that if it wasn't written and directed by a famous director, if it didn't have the cinematography and the acting that this movie had, everybody would be hating on this movie. Everybody would hate it. It would be in and out of theaters in a second and nobody would care about it. But no, it's got a 90% on Metacritic because Paul Thomas Anderson made it. Good directors, great directors can get away with so much shit. And it's not even funny. Like, you live on reputation so much nowadays in the film industry, and it sucks, because this movie was not good. I can't sugarcoat it. It was not good. And it was creepy. And it was gross. And I did not enjoy it. Don't go see it. Do not give this movie money. Yeah. I didn't like this movie. If you saw it, let me know what you think, because honestly, I felt like I was missing something the whole time. What charm was there? What possibly was in this movie that could have warranted a 90%? Like, so many people on Metacritic are giving it 100s. I don't get it. So if you do get it, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear an alternate opinion on this, trying to tell me why this is supposed to be so good, because I do not get it. If there was a point of merit, if there was value in this movie, I missed it. So let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, and if you're new here, subscribe. Bye.